From the main screen, we'll select Calibrations. In the Calibrations page, we have several tabs below. The first one is the distance calibration. To perform the distance calibration, simply have a marked course of a given distance. We recommend a distance in excess of 300 feet, but can be measured to be virtually any distance. When you're ready to drive the course, press Start. A measured distance will appear. As you're driving, that distance will increase. When you reach the end of your distance, press Stop. At this point, now type in the actual distance driven. As it says here, a valid range is between 10 feet and 2,000 feet. At which point a distance calibration value will be displayed. If it is accurate and you feel your test was completed properly, the calibration can be updated. It's recommended to perform this more than once, such that you're sure that you've got an accurate reading. The next tab within the calibrations is the calibration tab. Within here we have a pull-down menu that allows us to calibrate more specific items on the combine. Here we have the feeder position calibration. Press Enter to start. At this point, I would press Enter. If the engine were running, I'd be able to perform this calibration, but it will come up and give me specific information as to how to mechanically raise and lower the feeder with the button on the propulsion handle. The next calibration is the header tilt. Ensure that the feeder face is level and then press Enter to perform this calibration. Next is the upper sieve position. It tells us to close the sieve completely, then open again to 6 millimeters, 1/4 inch, and press Enter. At this point, I would leave the combine, go to the rear, manually set the sieves to that opening, return to the cab, and press Enter. The lower sieve calibration, just like the upper sieve calibration, requires us to close the sieve completely, then open again to 6 millimeters or 1/4 inch and press Enter. At which time I'd leave the cab, go down, set the sieve opening, return to the cab, and press Enter. Concave position. Fully close the concaves using the button on the console, then press Enter. Tailings volume. Ensure the tailings elevator is empty, then press Enter. If the combine's new and clean, we know it's clean. Real drive calibration. Simply press Enter to start and follow the on-screen instructions. Steering wheel calibration. Drive ahead at less than 2 miles an hour in a straight line, then press Enter. The next tab within the calibrations area from the main screen is Area. Area is where we would calibrate a given field for the area that it is known to be. As mentioned in the previous overview, if a field was harvested and found that the combine recorded more acres than a known value, after the field is completed, select the grower, farm, and field name, the operation, and then you can type in the actual area. It will calculate an error, and then you can select Calibrate to correct that area. The most common cause of an area being off would be overlapping if you're not using the automatic crop width feature. The crop tab within the calibration is where we can set up specific information about a given crop type. For instance, here in corn, we have a manual moisture of 5.5%, a trade moisture of 15.5%. In most cases, the trade moisture of corn is actually 15%. I can simply type in 15, select enter, and now my trade moisture has been reset to 15%. Trade weight, 56 pounds per bushel, looks correct to me. The moisture tab is where you'll complete a moisture calibration. There are 3 different ways to perform a moisture calibration. One is using a fast calibration, which is the quickest but probably the dirtiest way to do a calibration. It'll get you in the ballpark, however, the accuracy may not be as good as when you use the wizard or advanced functions. The wizard function is very descriptive in its terms, such that an accurate yield calibration can be done for the first time by nearly any operator. The advanced function of a moisture calibration is one in which the operator must be familiar with the system. This advanced system is very similar to the only system that we previously offered on axial flow combines several years prior. Yield calibration is very similar to moisture calibration, in which we have 3 different ways to perform the calibration. One is with a fast calibration, a single point, very quick. A wizard, which includes very specific instructions within it, such that an accurate calibration can be made. And an advanced calibration, sometimes quicker for an advanced user who's very familiar with our system. As it notes here, be sure to complete the moisture calibration prior to the weight or yield calibration. Also, the distance calibration must be completed prior to the moisture or the yield calibration wizard. Finally is the navigation calibration. Here is where we can perform a roll calibration on the combine if equipped with a navigation controller. To perform this calibration, select roll and follow the on-screen instructions. Once these instructions are followed, an offset can be entered and selected, and a new roll angle will be saved. At this point, since we didn't follow the instructions, we never moved, we will go ahead and reset to 0. This completes the calibrations portion.